And here we go.
To music.
Mixties presents the Popcast.
What a wonderful
Okay, and we're here. My name is Brian, and I'm here with my friend and partner, brother Shane. And this is the Popcast.
All right, the Popcast. And
FYI, I'm a little sick.
I just wanted to go ahead and do that little shout out for you since you've been feeling under the weather. I got to tell you, brother, you're a real trooper.
I'm a trooper.
To come in here. We knew we needed to get our Captain America Civil War review out to our fans. And so you're here, and his voice is going to sound a little crackly. But, honestly, I think it makes him sound a little sexier.
Oh, yeah?
All right, maybe not.
All right.
But it was
You're going to hear a lot more of Shane today than me.
Sorry.
Because it actually hurts to talk.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys.
But I have to get this information out.
Got to.
Have to.
We have to because, people are gonna see the marketing for this, and they're gonna really be mad at us, I think. But once you start listening to the podcast, you're gonna get a good feel for, why we've got a good take on how this movie went down. So
I agree.
So that's what we need to do. So if you checked in with us, you could see that we said obviously that Captain America was wrong.
Yeah.
First thing,
Captain America was wrong. Cap was wrong.
Cap was wrong. I do want to say before we go into the ins and outs of it that I thought the movie was thoroughly enjoyable to watch.
Great movie.
I sat there and I just enjoyed all of it.
Have to make sure everybody knows this is spoiler territory.
Oh, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully we've got that.
If you're listening right now, spoiler warning.
Yeah, if you have not seen the movie, you shouldn't be even looking for reviews on the movie, honestly, unless you want spoilers.
If you haven't seen the movie and you don't want spoilers, leave right now. Come back later, save it.
Yeah.
If you don't care about spoilers, you haven't seen the movie, then stay. Please stay.
And, we could taint your opinion before you go see it.
Right. Yeah.
Probably. So you may want to wait. I would not listen to this. I'd go watch it, come back. But if you're here, you've probably seen it like most of America. And what you've probably learned right along with us is that there were two sides to this movie. We should probably give a little synopsis, I guess, just to kind of go over. Synopsis. You say synopsis. I say synopsis.
Synopsis. Tomato.
I'm all about it. So go ahead and give a little bit.
Well, the movie is about Captain America and Bucky Barnes, but it's about the Avengers as a whole.
Right.
And they go on a mission, and some folks die, like other missions. And
civilian folks die.
Civilian folks. And this is the straw that breaks the UN's back.
Right. They're angry at this point.
And they're like, here's the deal. You guys are too powerful and too strong to do whatever you want, wherever you want.
You don't listen to anybody.
Someone's got to be in charge of you guys, or at least have some kind of oversight into, okay, go do this, do that. Here's information. Oh, don't do that. We're in the middle of a mission, or we're in the middle of whatever it is, having a conversation, having an open dialogue with the Avengers, and sort of watching the Watchers.
And it seems like, was it Homeland Security or the CIA director that came in?
It was the Secretary of State or something.
William Hurt, was that who it was?
Yeah. Whatever. Yeah.
So he came in and he told him. He said, "Look, guys, here's the deal. The Sokovia Accords. It's going down.
And it's based on Sokovia from Age of Ultron because they literally picked up the city and then dropped it back. Or Ultron picked up the city and dropped it back down to Earth.
Right.
So, what bothers me about this is that they're sort of getting blamed for these. I guess Ultron was technically Tony's fault.
I
guess.
What did Vision say? Was it Vision that said that the more they exist, the greater the risk? Just simply because they exist, there's a greater risk. Power breeds more power or something like that.
Right, something like that.
Yeah, so, it kind of makes sense. There would be no Ultron if there was no Tony. So
then we'd have no Vision.
But there would be no Vision.
And Vision is probably going to save the whole world, so.
At some point, hopefully.
It'll be a trade-off.
So the Sokovia Accords are brought in, and It's very interesting because this is kind of what's happening. You know, we saw it in Batman versus Superman, the same type of thing. It's collateral damage with civilians, and it needs to be stopped. And I thought that Marvel did a really good job of telling the story, guilting the heck out of Tony Stark, and
Yeah, big time.
making sure that this whole thing went down appropriately. It doesn't feel false. It does feel very very real. And I would say that people, when they go see the movie and you watch it, you do get the feeling that, wow, yeah, something needs to happen. Something needs to change.
And it's a bummer, like, right after Tony is, like, having this heart-warming moment about revealing his information from his past. By the way, the graphics on the young Tony,
Wow.
stellar, right?
Right? That was amazing. I still need to take a look at how they did
I
that.
can't, I don't know how they did. They de-aged him digitally or something.
They must have taken an old version of Robert Downey Jr. and somehow pasted him into
I don't know.
a new model or
When
something.
When I first saw him, I was like, oh my God, that's like weird science.
From Weird Science. He was
Yeah.
in that movie.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, it was like
when he
from-
was back then.
Yeah, it was him from Weird Science.
Yeah.
But then he has this like a breakout technology, and he announces like, you know, the government is not going to help you with your project, and schools aren't going to have projects, banks aren't going to finance it, but I'll finance it. And he financed everybody's projects, no matter how small they are.
Yeah. Was it MIT?
MIT.
And he said, "Hey, everybody, I'm funding everybody." That was amazing.
Yeah, huge. I mean, like what a great guy. He's making amends for his troubles, right?
Right.
And then he goes out to the elevator, and this woman's like, check out this picture of my dead son.
Oh, it was
Like,
just
let's
heartbreaking.
just bring you from here high and bring you right back down low.
Yeah, kudos to the movie makers for making us feel small at that moment. You know,
And that actress is amazing. So
oh, she's great. Yeah. Well, so then the movie goes on, and we have basically, you know, the director of the CIA, or what did you say his title was?
Secretary of State, I think.
Secretary of State. Okay,
I don't know.
That's a big guy.
The guy that played he was the bad guy in Hulk, right?
I think it's William Hurt, right?
He
Is
was
that his
like
name?
General something in Hulk.
Well, here's the thing. Basically, it immediately splits the team. So you have Tony, who's been kind of quiet about it, but War Machine, Don Cheadle, immediately says, whoa, 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 yes, absolutely, we need to do something about this,
Yeah.
strongly. To which Red Falcon, equally on the other side, said, whoa, wait a sec, you know, not necessarily, not so fast. And all of a sudden you see this kind of division occur almost immediately.
Well, what happened in Wakanda, right? When Crossbones is wearing this dynamite vest, and Scarlet Witch, really cool scene. He's about to blow it up and take Captain America with him, and she like contains the blast of like the suicide vest this guy's wearing, and then throws him in the air, but she doesn't throw him high enough, and so she kills people, and they see that as okay. She's trying. What they don't see in that straw that broke their back is that 12 people died, but she probably saved a lot more people by doing what she did.
Right, and that's kind of my problem with it too. They were apparently operating outside of their jurisdiction, inside of a country they weren't supposed to be in, but they were stopping somebody who was going to
Sovereign nation.
release chemical weapons.
Right, that was going to kill a lot more.
That was going to
people.
kill a lot more people.
Just like the suicide vest would have killed a lot more people.
So I don't understand. Do
So-
they feel like this person exists as a result of? I don't see why they feel like they need to contain these people
Well, I mean,
as a result of that.
what about this? What if they knew, okay, the Avengers are going into this place to do a job. If they knew that ahead of time, then maybe they can evacuate people. Maybe they can have, resources on standby to help injured. I mean,
I see.
maybe the Sokovian Accords are simply, hey, let's communicate and have an oversight committee that's not owned by one country, but the UN, and let's have a conversation, hold people responsible that should be held responsible, and have some kind of like system in place for this extremely powerful Avengers initiative, right?
Okay. So that's what happens. So
Makes sense to me.
So Tony Stark, War Machine, signed the agreement, and his team, I guess, his side. Vision signs the agreement.
Because Vision is a machine. He's pragmatic. This is the most logical course of action.
Right. And then on the other side, of course, Captain America decides he's not going to.
He's tainted against government because
Right.
S.H.I.E.L.D. Was found out in Winter Soldier to be Hydra.
So they're basically told, hey, stand down. You're retired now. Since you didn't sign the paperwork, there was the options they gave him. Sign the paperwork
Or retire.
or retire.
Right.
So they said, you're retired now if you're not going to do it.
Yeah, American citizens can't go into sovereign nations with zero oversight and kill people. Even if those
That's-
people are bad.
That's what they're saying.
There's due process.
Right. So here's the thing. You're right. So, and then what happens is a bomb explodes and kills basically the king of Wakanda. And here's what happens. That just sets off a whole big slew of things. Now you've got Bucky Barnes involved, the Winter Soldier.
Right.
He's been well, spoiler alert. He's been basically framed to be the guy who sent the bomb off. You'll find this out later. And then, so a lot of people die, and you've got the ruler of Wakanda dies. The Prince of Wakanda, who we find out ends up being Black Panther, actually tries to save his father. But he's basically hell-bent on finding Bucky and killing him at this point. Everybody in the world wants to find Bucky and kill him. The problem is nobody had been able to previously find him. Well, apparently, I guess when you bend all eyes on him around the world, you find him pretty fast.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
German special forces found him.
Right.
So Captain America went in and tried to basically save him. He says, well, I want to know what, I don't feel like he's doing this because he wants to. He must be being forced to do it. I'm going to go save my friend.
Or he just wants to make sure that they don't kill him.
Yeah, he doesn't want him to die.
Right.
So he goes in to save him.
Due process.
Right. And Black Panther, we find out, the Prince of Wakanda, also is there, and this big battle ensues between. But basically, in the end, he ends up saving Bucky, and they get away.
Right.
Enter the Civil War moment between the two groups.
At the airport. Beautiful scene.
Beautiful scene. They have a fight. They battle. Captain America and Bucky still manage to get away. And they're actually figure out that the real bad guy is going to Siberia to find these other Winter Soldiers. You get a couple of twists to the story. Some interesting things happen. And then what you end up with is the culmination of the fight between Iron Man, Bucky, or the Winter Soldier, and Captain America. And then you get the ending of the movie, which is very interesting. And we don't really want to go into every aspect of it.
Well, we're glossing over how great I think the villain was. A lot of people are giving me problems, but a lot of people said the villain was not very good.
Okay.
I disagree.
I don't think the movie was about the villain.
Because I think that the villain, for the first time in a long time in Marvel movies, I related to what the villain's struggle was.
Well, because he wasn't a true villain.
I understood his motivations.
Right. He wasn't a true villain. He was, well, I guess you could say he was a true villain, what he was doing. But you don't understand his motivations through the whole movie.
No. At the very end, you
At
understand.
the very end. But, he's basically what any person who's lost their life would do.
How great was it, though? He's listening to these voice messages on his phone. You think he's having a conversation with his wife,
I did think that, yeah.
but it's the same voicemail over and over again.
They did a really good job with that.
And then he goes, "Of course I killed them. I don't want any more of you freaks running around."
Right. So,
So it's like he thinks he's doing right.
yeah, he thinks he's on the
He
side
thinks
of
the
right.
world would be a better place without these people.
Well, he doesn't care. His life has no value anymore anyways, so
Yeah.
what does he have to lose?
He's ready to go out, blaze glory style.
So, a lot of spoilers there. We've kind of given you what the movie's about. So let's recap, let's track back, and let's talk about why Captain America was wrong in this whole thing.
Okay, this is why I think Cap was wrong. Because if Cap signed the paperwork, signed the Sokovian Accords, or at least open a dialogue, okay, well, this is what's in the Sokovian Accords. Let's look at it. Let's agree to what's in here. Let's work with the governments, and make sure it's a win-win for both the Avengers and the UN, and then get in bed with the rest of the world, and make sure that we have oversight, make sure that we're communicating, that there's a dialogue, that everybody's aware of what's happening, and if there are people on the UN team that are corrupt or whatever, then that will come to light, and we'll deal with that. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Versus trying to think about every single little thing that can go wrong and saying, no, I'm not going to sign it, and becoming outlaws and criminals. And then wondering, why are we in jail? Because you are criminals. You trespass in a sovereign nation. You killed people. You apprehended people illegally. You broke laws, and now you're in jail. And when he asked Tony, when Tony went into that prison, oh, I know they bring you here, but of course you are a criminal.
Yeah, he did say that.
Because they're criminals. If they signed the paperwork and they were doing what was right and working with the government, they wouldn't be in jail.
Well, I'm completely on your side. I'm completely on the side that Captain America was wrong in the decision that he made for this. I will say that I do believe to some degree that there was an ultimatum put there
Yeah.
that basically said, we don't really care what your opinion is. You're going to do what we basically just said. So I understand why he did what he did, but if he wasn't so darn self-righteous, then there wouldn't have been a problem. He could have said, all right, we'll sign the paperwork. I mean, could have pretty much reneged on that at any moment that he didn't agree with it.
Right.
If he really
you
wanted
want
to.
us to go kill people in South Africa?
Yeah, I ain't going to do it.
No, we're not doing that.
You're already a criminal by not signing the paperwork anyway.
There's soldiers in our armies today that sometimes have to go a little above and beyond and do things that the United States military didn't tell them to do or told them not to do or not do, depending on their moral beliefs. And that's a thing that exists in the military today. It's a
lawful order.
Yeah.
You either follow a lawful order. Later on, when you get in trouble, when you do something wrong in the military,
Right.
they say, well, I was just doing what I was told. And they said, but was it a lawful order?
Right.
Were you supposed to do that? Were you,
Right.
it doesn't matter. You don't just do everything you're told to do.
Right. There's
You know,
simple. Yeah. It's basic.
to some degree.
You're not a robot. It's moral. There's moral barometer you follow.
Right.
And Captain America could have signed that paperwork and said, you know what? Hold up. Wait a minute. Let's talk about this mission you want to send us on. If he didn't agree with it,
Yeah.
you're not automatons, dude.
Yeah, I mean, you can understand and appreciate what he was saying about, well, what if they have their own agenda? Or what if we don't want to do it? Or what if we don't believe in it? Or what if they won't let us go somewhere and save someone that needs to be saved? And Tony, Iron Man, said, well, we'll deal with that when it comes up.
Yeah. But in the meantime, let's get legal.
Let's just make sure we're taking care of our team here.
Right.
So let me tell you, Cap was being a selfish little jerk.
Yeah, and I think that Iron Man was trying to keep the team together.
Right, and he's like, Captain America's like, I don't care. I'm my own guy.
And that's my problem, is that Captain America, I feel like he
was being
was
selfish.
acting as if he was doing it for the team, but he wasn't. He was doing it for himself, his beliefs, and his buddy Bucky.
Well, see, okay, and can we go to Bucky really
God,
quick?
Bucky.
I just want to say, we've been talking about this a lot for the last several weeks, and we were trying to figure out, why the heck do we hate Bucky so much?
We really don't like Bucky.
We don't like him, and we figured it out. We talked about it off cast, and we said, hey, just like we don't like kryptonite for Superman, and that kryptonite is bad, and kryptonite hurts our hero.
Necessary, but it's bad.
Necessary, but bad. We don't like it when it gets on screen. We all cringe a little bit. Oh, no, not the kryptonite. Well, we're doing the same thing with Bucky. Oh, no, not the Bucky. And we're doing it because he is Captain America's kryptonite.
Yeah, he's his weakness.
He's his weakness. And it is painfully obvious
Breaks
now,
laws.
over 3 movies,
Yep.
that he is dragging him through badness. And I got to tell you, I'm watching the movie, and I'm trying to give Bucky a chance. I'm like, there's got to be something here. I'm missing it.
Something.
Everybody's telling me
That's
that
the
I'm
question.
wrong.
It's not Bucky's fault, so it's hard to blame him for this.
Right, it's not his fault, the bad things he's doing.
But you know what? Someone said something to me recently that resonated. If you know you are a ticking time bomb that kills people, you got to, and you're a moral person, take the high road and take yourself out of the game.
That's right, we were talking about. We had that
you and I were
conversation.
talking
Yeah,
about
we
that.
were talking about that.
Yeah, you know what? Just take yourself out.
Or at least show some empathy. I mean, spoiler alert here, people.
Yeah.
But, the Winter Soldier killed Tony Stark's parents.
Right.
And guess what? I found out at the end of this movie that Bucky Barnes remembers doing it. Now,
Yeah.
I didn't know that through all these killings he was doing, that he remembers it.
Right.
Why the heck isn't he turning himself in to be locked up somewhere.
Yeah, lock yourself up. Take yourself out of the equation.
You know, I was a little frustrated at the end. I mean, listen.
Or put a bullet in your head.
An
dude.
honorable person might even take themselves out.
Right.
Just to say, okay.
I've killed a lot of people. Even if it's a bad rap for me. I've gotten the short end of the stick, but I'm not gonna allow other people to no longer let me kill people.
Right. And so when they're sitting there watching that video at the end, and you've got Tony, and you've got Captain America, and you've got the Winter Soldier. They're all three watching basically him kill
Right, the Starks.
The Starks. I was so disappointed in Captain America's reaction to that. I was so disappointed because Bucky should have been like, I'm sorry, I didn't want to do it, I didn't mean to do it, I am so sorry.
Yeah.
He should have been empathetic to the fact that this just happened. All he could think about was getting away.
Right, yeah.
You know, and I thought if you're, and I don't know if this is a mistake by Marvel and Disney or if this is just what this character is, but if it wasn't a mistake and this is the character, I hate his guts. I hate him. I don't want to have anything to do with this character.
Oh, and that delivery that Robert Downey Jr. pulls off, it's like, he killed my mom, man.
Yeah, I mean,
He killed my mom.
I can see him not wanting, don't kill him, Tony, don't, you know, I get that, but he was obviously on the side of Bucky Barnes.
Yeah.
He was obviously, you know, on
He killed
his...
my mom's, bro.
Yeah, there should have been...
When he delivered that, it was like, oh my God. Oh, a little tear. Like, he kills his mom.
And it was not, I don't think, very genuine when he said, yeah, I knew about it. I didn't know it was him, but I knew your parents. Yeah, I knew they'd been killed by something to do with this Winter Soldier stuff.
Yeah, bro.
I mean, he knew. We didn't know he knew.
Yeah. And knowing that he knew, Cap was wrong.
It was disingenuous.
That's another reason I gotta say Cap was wrong.
And yeah, and
Cap
how,
was the bad guy.
who does he think did it?
I love Captain America. I love
Yeah.
Chris Evans. I love the character.
Yeah, we love Captain America.
We love him.
Which
We
is
love
why
him.
this is so frustrating.
It's so hard to watch
that they
this
did
movie
it this
sometimes.
way.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
it was tough.
And that's what makes it a good movie is his controversy, is his conflict. But I gotta say, by the end of that movie, I'm like, yeah, Tony Stark was a victim here.
He was a complete victim.
He was the victim in all of this. He was the victim.
And he did nothing but take garbage through the whole movie from everybody.
And yeah, he took garbage, he took hate, he took ridicule, even Black Widow. When he's like, you know, they're gonna find you, right? And Black Widow goes, you should be watching your back. Like, why?
Wow, yeah, right.
Why should he be watching his back? He's doing nothing wrong. He's
Well-
trying to keep the team together.
And then he goes to try to help him because he knows he just heard about these other Winter Soldiers.
Yeah.
And he's like, I need to know where he is so I can help him. He goes there to help him.
to help them, he's trying to do the right thing throughout the entire film.
Right?
He's trying to be the best version of Tony Stark.
and the villain comes through and does this terrible thing. Wow.
It's crazy. It's like Tony Stark was beat up the entire movie. He was the victim the entire movie. The entire time he was trying to be above board. The entire time.
I mean, are we sure this wasn't an Iron Man movie? I'm just trying to figure
I
out.
feel like he was the victim the entire time, and Captain America was the one being bad.
I mean, even at the end, he leaves him with a cell phone and says, good luck. Yeah, call me if you need me. I
Yeah.
mean, it's like he's there holding the bag.
He's
you
in the
know?
Avengers Tower with him and Vision holding it down.
Yeah, and it's like, wow.
He's the responsible one. He's the one responsible for everything.
And
I can't stand the amount of garbage he took throughout this movie is ridiculous. From the woman at the elevator to his own teammates, right? The end of the movie. I mean, everything.
well, I got to tell you, I was wearing the Captain America Team Rogers shirt that Mixed Tees finally sent me.
Oh, nice.
And
I'm wearing my Team Stark right now.
yeah, I wish I was wearing a Team Stark. I'm wearing it. I'm kind of like covering it up. I'm like, I'm kind of embarrassed. I'm like, oh, I don't really want to be on Cap's team.
Yeah, Cap's the rebel in this movie, but it's like, you know what? This movie is a lot like The Empire Strikes Back.
Okay.
I feel like this is the movie that, just like in Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back had that movie where a lot of things were revealed, and the ending wasn't as satisfying as it could have been.
Do you think they should have killed somebody in this movie?
I feel like they did kill somebody. They killed the team.
They killed the team. Okay.
I think that.
But do you think they
it's
pulled
clever
the
how
punch?
no one died that you cared about except Peggy Carter died.
Well,
And I
yeah.
hate the fact that they use Peggy Carter's. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Like, it's good for the movie, but it frustrated me because of my liking of Captain America. They used Peggy Carter's death to do that quote, where it sort of justifies Captain America's actions.
Yeah, he actually makes his decision based on that.
Based on this quote that she said, something about like, you move or something. I forgot the exact quote.
Yeah,
but,
when somebody comes against you, something that you don't believe in, they move, you don't move.
right.
And I know he loved Peggy, but she has not played.
If you watch Agent Carter would have signed that paperwork.
I haven't seen Agent Carter.
Okay, she would have signed that paperwork, and even though she didn't trust a lot of people, she would have been like, "This is the right move. This is the right move in this game. In this game of chess we're calling life right now.
Right.
This is the correct move to keep everybody together, intact, and moving forward."
Well, and Captain America was also wrong to be sucking face with her niece so quickly after her death.
It's like 5 minutes later, dude.
I mean, we got a nice little funny moment there where Bucky Barnes and Red Falcon are in the car while
Yeah,
he's kissing her.
that was cool.
That was kind of funny.
They're like, nice.
But it was wrong. So Captain America, you were wrong there.
Yeah.
I mean, Peggy's
She died 5 minutes ago.
she's dead.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that you weren't together, I guess, in the sake of being together at that point, but it's a little weird.
Yeah. Well, also, speaking of the interaction between Falcon and Bucky Barnes, though, I did like the interaction.
I did too. I did how they like I hate you kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like I'm his sidekick,
when
not
he's
you.
when he's like, "Can you move your seat up?" and he goes, "No."
Yeah, he moved over. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
and
good.
then when Spider-Man beats them both and puts them on the ground,
Yeah.
and the little robot hits Spider-Man, he's like, "Why didn't you do that earlier?" He goes, "I hate you."
I know. Well, that was good, and they did a really good job. The levity in this movie, which is arguably one of the things comic book fans come back for,
Right,
which is why Batman vs Superman didn't do very well,
right.
was because there wasn't a lot of levity. Marvel did a great job of taking it to a serious point, and then comic relief, the relief out.
Right.
Comic relief it out. So you would get kind of stressed, and then you would be able to laugh, and then you would get stressed. It was that roller coaster of emotions that it takes you on. With Spider-Man, basically, they're clocking on Spider-Man and making fun of him, but Spider-Man's kicking their butt.
Fantastic.
I thought they really did that well.
I think this is the best version of Spider-Man I've ever seen, because in every other version of Spider-Man, he's like a 30-year-old man from the Midwest.
Right.
When Spider-Man is supposed to be a 16-year-old kid from Queens.
Which is exactly what we got.
Yeah, we got the Queens accent. We got a 16-year-old kid asking questions, being excited, sort of fanboying out. That's Spider-Man. The Spider-Man we've gotten up until then had literally been like, some guy from the Bible Belt, and he's like 30. He's like, why is he still going to high school? Like,
Right, yeah.
Even the animated version, it looks like an adult that goes to high school. It's sort of crazy.
Well, we got Marissa Tomei, so we got an opportunity for Tony Stark to be Tony Stark, and he was kind of
Right.
macking on Aunt May.
And I love the way he was fanboying out when he's met Tony Stark.
Oh, wasn't that great? He was like, "Oh my gosh, really?" And she's like, "It's him,"
Yeah.
Oh, it was really fantastic.
Really good version of Spider-Man. I can't wait to see Spider-Man, more Spider-Man. I love Black Panther too.
They really did well with that character.
Yeah, they did great.
I was
All
I
of a
was
sudden,
shocked.
I want to see a Black Panther movie.
Yeah, I was not, and I think
I
that's
had zero interest before this movie.
that's what everybody seems to be saying now after the movie's over. Is wow, I can't wait for the Black Panther movie.
And I called it, by the way.
You did.
I
What'd
did.
you say?
Remember I told you about 2 months ago? Black Panther and Spider-Man are going to be breakout. They're going to be the breakout stars.
You did actually. Yeah, I do remember you saying that.
People are going to love Black Panther after this movie.
Well, you called it, brother.
And they do. He's done great. The
Did a
act
great
was
job.
great. Everything about. I want to know more about Wakanda and where he lives.
The fighting, the
Yeah.
martial arts aspect of what he was
Just
doing.
running someone down at like full speed.
That was awesome. The claws coming out of
Crazy,
the end of his
yeah.
little uniform there. It was pretty nice.
When he retracted his claws before when he decided not to kill that guy. That was pretty cool.
I think I'm more attracted to the warrior, passionate ideology that he carries. That nothing's going to stop him. That he's going to do what needs to be done. I like that strong
Yeah.
element to his character. I really like that about
so
him.
strong. He's like he's the prince or president of whatever you want to
Now
call
he's
it.
the king. Now I guess.
King of Wakanda.
Now he is. Yeah.
And he's like, "Don't worry, we're gonna find him." And he goes, "No, you don't worry. I'll find him and I'll kill him."
I know, right? He's
That's
like
the same as like President Obama being like, "Don't worry, I'm gonna go find Obama and kill and Osama." And kill,
Yeah.
him."
Marines, stay home. I've got this.
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
the same
yeah.
thing as like President Obama going and killing Osama with himself.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed that. The actual Civil War battle that we get in this movie at the airport, which starts out kind of comical. You can see they're
And
kind
Bruce-
of they're kind of doing some jokes. You know, Spider-Man gets introduced there into the fight, and they crack some jokes at him. I think Rogers says something to him about, you know, who's this guy or where did you get this guy or something like that. And so that was pretty cool.
Oh, I love Spider-Man's total loyalty to Stark too. When he's fighting Captain America.
Yeah, when he told him, he goes,
he's
"Why?"
like,
Yeah,
Where are you from? Queens. Oh, Brooklyn.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Right? And he's all, you know he's wrong, right? He's all, yeah, he said Tony said you would say that.
He said you'd say that. Yeah,
And he just kept hitting him.
he kept
hitting him.
going. Yeah.
Like-
No, he was sold. He was completely in.
He was
on this.
he was on Tony's side.
I love.
I love that loyalty aspect. There's so much loyalty.
Yeah, it was nice to see the characters warm up to each other like that.
Yeah.
It was also nice to see Paul Rudd get woken up in the back of a van and come out to be Ant-Man.
I love
You
the
know.
growing thing. That was very awesome.
Oh, that was the growing portion of that where he was a big giant.
Oh, again, that was another reference to Strikes Back when he goes,
Oh, yeah, they did it. Yeah.
remember that movie, Remember Strikes Back?
Spider-Man, yeah.
And he does the,
He does the spin around his legs with the
Right, yeah.
with the web. Yeah, just like one of the walkers when they took him down on Hoth.
on
Yeah.
Hoth, yeah. So
Yeah.
we liked the movie a lot.
The movie was great.
Great movie.
Yeah, Paul Rudd, Ant-Man is up there and he's touching Captain America going, "Ooh, all right." You know, kind of feeling his pecs or
Yeah.
whatever he was doing. I mean, you need some of that.
The whole team was there. Everybody had a moment where they shone.
Everybody had a moment in this movie.
Yeah,
I think that
everybody.
was key, which is kind of why I argue this almost feels more like an Avengers movie to me.
Right. Except for that they continue on that Bucky
They
Barnes
did
story.
continue with the Bucky Barnes "I hate you" story. # I hate you, Bucky Barnes story. You know,
Hashtag I hate Bucky.
you know, I wish we could start that. Great movie. Frustrating things occur. You're definitely not satisfied at the end of this movie, I don't think. Although, do yourself a favor and stick around in the credits because you're not just getting one Easter egg, but you're getting two. I want to make sure you know about that. Some people missed it.
I missed the second Easter egg.
You missed the
Dang
second,
it.
which, by the way, was a better Easter egg than the first one. I'm not going to ruin
First
it for
one wasn't even
anybody.
our Easter egg.
No, it was just a.
It was like they could have just had that at the end of the scene.
They could have, yeah. They
I can't believe I missed it.
making everybody stick around for the credits.
And they're always one up in it. They're like, okay, we usually give you one. Now we're going to give you two.
Well, you got to see the second one because the second one actually forwards the story. Did you actually end up seeing it?
Nope.
Okay, I'm not going to tell you why, but because I want you to experience it and enjoy it.
I'm going to have to go watch it. Yeah.
But it actually tells you something new that you didn't know for sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
So it's good. You should see that. So Captain America, you should have signed the paperwork, buddy. You should have saved your team.
But if you had, there would have been no movie. So.
Well, no, you couldn't do. Yeah, I guess you're right, huh? That's like you could sit there and argue that all day. They had to have a civil war somehow, some reason. So I guess if you're going to do it, this is a good enough reason for anybody.
Yeah. Again, we love the movie. The movie was fantastic.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
deserves all the critical.
It's really,
getting
really good.
Critical
It's
acclaim.
well done. And we were not flown to Dubai to watch this early or anything like that. We watched this in a theater. You know, actually, I was in front of me was a bunch of high school kids, like, laughing and making jokes throughout the entire movie. And behind me was a guy talking to his buddies in front of me, over me, the entire movie. And I still enjoyed it.
Yeah, and you still liked it.
So this is a real review, and we're saying, like, look, this, from our opinion, this is a fantastic movie. But we think Captain America was wrong, and we think that Tony Stark was the victim in this movie.
Absolutely. So where do you think they'll go from here? I think that's what we got to talk about next. We got the next movie coming up. What are they going to do?
Well, we're not going to see the Avengers together for a few movies. You know, what's coming up is Doctor Strange, Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I think we're going to see another Ant-Man movie. We're seeing a lot of movies. I don't see how they're going to make another Ant-Man movie when he's being broken out of jail at the end of Civil War.
Right.
So a lot of strings are going to be floating around until some of these movies come up. But we're going to see Thor Ragnarok. Remember, Thor and the Hulk had nothing to do with this movie, which means that we're going to watch that movie, and the events of Civil War has zero bearing on what happens with Thor and the Hulk.
Right.
So it's going to be a couple years till we see this story progress.
But I think they'll progress pieces of the story in some way through the other
I
movies.
just don't see how.
Well, maybe what they'll do is push forward. In order to get these people out of prison and do their movies, they're going to have to push it forward a little bit.
Yeah, maybe Ant-Man, but that's the only movie slated. Ant-Man 2 is the only movie slated between now and Avengers Infinity.
What about Black Panther?
Black Panther is slated, yeah.
Yeah, so we could do that. He's got Bucky
But
on
he's
ice.
not in jail. See, Bucky being on ice doesn't have to. They don't even have to mention that.
They don't, but I'm sure it'll come up somehow.
He's a standalone movie. There's probably not going to be any other characters in it. It's gonna be all on him.
Maybe his story is they come looking for Bucky. Maybe that's what the next movie is for him.
It's possible. Yeah.
So that's interesting. So
I really hope there's no more Bucky nonsense.
we haven't seen the last of Bucky. I mean, they put him on
I'm
ice.
hoping they put him on ice in Wakanda and they just leave it there. Let's leave Bucky there.
Wouldn't it be great if we could just say, that's it?
No more Bucky.
But the next time they need to ruin Captain America, I'm sure they'll bring it
Yeah,
up.
I'm sure. It's like at some point they're going to kill Captain America and Bucky's going to take over or something. That's what happens in the comic books.
I hope that doesn't happen.
I really hope it doesn't happen.
Yeah, I would be disappointed.
Yeah, thoroughly.
I don't think they've been true to Bucky, the comic book Bucky, either.
No.
You know, in these
No, they haven't
movies.
made you like him.
Right.
You don't. I know you're supposed to like him, and there's people that like him, but I don't. I've never felt that way. Even in the first movie, I just never felt much of a liking to the guy.
It's because he doesn't have any empathy. And I know he's under mind control for a large portion of it, but even when he's not under mind control, he's almost sort of just feeling sorry for himself.
Yeah.
Instead of giving you a glimmer of reason to enjoy him or like him, you're really just getting a sorrowful, oh, woe is me, I've got this bad situation. And that's kind of what we're getting from him. So, yeah, I mean, he's not likable.
No.
He's cool idea. Love the idea of Winter Soldier with a metal arm and can do some cool stuff.
Yeah.
But, after he killed Tony's parents, man, I was mad.
Yeah, it's crazy. People were like, "Oh, well, he's under mind control." Like, you're making excuses for him. I understand that he was under mind control when he did that. But like what you said, if I was me that had killed somebody under mind control, I'd be like, "Man, I'm so sorry."
Yeah,
Dude, it was not me. It was not me. Please. If you want to hurt me, I understand. Hurt me all you want. Whatever.
Yeah, in fact, that would have been good if he would have actually offered himself up to Iron Man.
Yeah.
In some way.
Take responsibility.
Yeah, to be like, you're right. You should probably kill me.
And Iron Man, being the good man,
yeah,
he would,
give him the opportunity
would
to
not
just
have done that.
smack him really hard or something, and
But instead, he runs, and they start like fighting with Tony
weird,
Stark.
trying to help him get away.
All it does is make Tony even madder.
Captain America's like
Killed
second
my
job.
moms. When he said that, I was like, "Oh,
yeah,
my
that was so
God."
tough.
Yeah.
I mean, Captain America's second job is just trying to make sure Bucky gets away. That seems like what he spends all of his time
Yeah,
doing.
since all his time trying to make sure Bucky's safe.
Well, at least the movie was good.
Yeah,
So-
the movie was really good. Okay, well that's the reason, folks.
Okay, so listen, if you want to tell
voice
us
sounds
why,
horrible.
if you want to tell us why you think we were wrong about Captain America, you can follow us on Twitter. And I know this is your thing usually that you do.
No,
so
please do.
So you've got us at Twitter. What is it?
Twitter.com/mixtees.
I'm terrible with these things.
Facebook.com/mixtees.
Facebook.com/mixtees. You can catch us at popcast.co if you want to send us an email. Or actually, that's the website. If you want to send us an email, where do they send us an email to?
Info@popcast.co.
Info@popcast.co.
Or podcast@mixtees.com.
We're going to have to start putting this on a card so I know what to say here. Anyways, if you want to check us out, go to our YouTube page, look up Mixed Teas if you're not already there.
Mixtees. It's youtube.com/mixtees.
/Mixed Teas. You can also check us out on our blog, which is
Mixtees.com/blog.
And if you're writing all this stuff down, you're going to know it a whole lot better. Probably better than me.
If you're watching the video, just click the links.
Or just click the links.
All right.
They make it easy. We'll catch you next time.
All right, bye-bye, everybody.